Alright, so last time I left you off right before we were going to insert some data. So that's what we're going to do in this part. Here you see in this syntax.sql file some seemingly Chinese stuff, Japanese stuff, whatever you want to call it. Basically what this insert into keyword says is to, well, obviously insert data into a specific table. Now you put this table right after it. So in our case this is posts. Now a good practice is to put table names and field names and the like between backticks. What backticks do is they prevent MySQL keywords from being executed. So say you would have a table, a field called text, then you would do something like this, and it would actually tell it to insert something into a text table and not into a text data type. I hope that made sense. Anyway, after that, between parentheses, you specify a list of fields to insert into, so title and contents. Now notice that we do not put an ID field here, because this is set to increment automatically, so we don't need to do this. Very neat. Then you use the values keyword, followed by a list of values to insert into each field. So this is the first post, goes into the title field, and yes it is, goes into the contents field. So let's copy this and go to phpMyAdmin, where we have our table set up, and go to the SQL tab, paste it in, and here we see one row inserted, and there we have it, our first post. Awesome, right? Anyway, there is another way to do this, and I like this a lot more, and that's using the set keyword. And then when you specify a table to insert into, you immediately assign a value to it. Now this is a lot cleaner, a lot easier to maintain, and that's exactly why I'm going to use this throughout the series. So let's copy this as well and paste it in once again. And there we see the second post. Alright, so now we know how to do this. We can apply this knowledge to actually work with it in PHP. So, as I said last time, whoa, it suddenly freezes. Let's see if it starts responding anytime soon. Whoa, this is horrible. Ah, there we go. As I said last time, you use MySQL query to execute SQL code or SQL queries. Oh, by the way, last time I forgot to include the init file, so I did that. And this is something you don't need to worry about just yet. I will explain this shortly, but not in this part. So, anyway, let's copy the query, paste it in, and remember we are using a form here, and you access each field basically with this. So that's what we're going to put in the query as well. So post title and post. Now let's go to our form. Oh, that's something you shouldn't have seen yet. Oops, sorry. Anyway, Third post, yay. Whoa. Interesting post, right? Anyway, let's post. And then when we browse, there we have it. Alright. I really like posting here, so I'm just gonna do it again. Whoa, this time as title. However, I feel like doing something fancy, so script type equals text slash JavaScript alert hello. Alright. Now, seemingly harmless, right? So, I'm gonna uncomment this, comment this out instead, and I'll show you how harmless this actually is. So let's refresh this. Oh. Every time we retrieve that post from our table, this JavaScript pop-up window will show up. Now this in itself is indeed quite harmless. But what if some evil dude sitting behind his computer all day wanted to use JavaScript to steal our cookie data? Now that's something you don't want to happen. And that is why we need to protect every script that involves user input from these so-called XSS attacks, cross-site scripting. Now this is done using a very simple function, and it's called HTML entities. So we're going to do that. Title equals HTML entities post title. And of course this also needs to be done for the post itself. So post, and then we change this to title and post. Gonna comment this out again. Now what does HTML entities do? Basically whenever your text contains special characters like this less than sign, it will convert it to the respective HTML entity, like and lt. So let's try this out now. So title equals yada, and we're gonna insert something again, some JavaScript. Type equals text JavaScript alert I am awesome because I show up. And insert it. Oh, whoops. Looks like I misspelled something here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I think this did insert now. No, it didn't. Good. Let's refresh. And now, when we browse it, here you see end lt, end quote, end gt. This means all those special characters that would otherwise be interpreted are now rendered directly, parsed directly, I mean. So, what does this mean? Well, when we now try to display the fifth item, which I just inserted, it just displays it as plain text. So this is really important for you to remember, to understand, but this is not the only security measure we're gonna have to take. We're going to look at the other thing in the next part, so see you there.